Okay, hello everyone. So back with another live stream. So this live stream is to choose a winner for the essay correction competition. I posted a question in YouTube and Facebook last Sunday, and some students responded with full essays. So we'll choose one of those students and give them a full essay correction. And obviously, there's a very high possibility you're not one of those students. So this video, this live stream, will still give you a better insight into what the examiner expects, the things the examiner is looking for, how the examiner will grade the essay, and what scores. And of course, I'll have advice for that person on how to improve their scores as well. So just in case you're not familiar with my Task 2 lessons, I want to share those with you as well. So if you just look in the comments, either on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see my complete Task 2 guide. So just in case you're not already familiar with how to write a Task 2 essay and what's required from you. Okay, so we have a few people here. There were a few people here last night. Service, Leo, Kevin McAllister, good name. Hi, Sharon Preet. So you did enter. I recall seeing your essay. Hi, Etat. Good to see you back here again. And hi, Maha. I can't remember. I think you did enter as well. Not sure. Okay. So that's basically what we're doing in this live stream. So let's go and choose a winner. So I have this little app that I use. So if you have entered, you should see your name there. Maha, you did enter. There's your name. Sharon Preet, you are, and everyone else who entered is there. Okay, so I'll just click spin on this and it will give me the winner. The winner is... Okay, congratulations, Ranjith. Now, I just need a moment to find Ranjith's answer and get it into a document so that we're ready to go. So let me just see. Ranjith was in Facebook. Excuse me now while I just get organized here. Okay, so I have the answer, and let me just share my screen with you here as well. Okay, so if you've joined me live, feel free to ask any questions you have about the advice, about the feedback, about the essay. So what I'll do is I'll look at a paragraph, I'll come back, answer any questions you have, I'll go back into another paragraph and in and out like that. So do get involved, do ask absolutely any questions you have. Who else is here? Hi, Brian. Good to see you here. Shira, good morning. Jugbar, a lot of familiar faces. Good to see you here. Hey, Jervin. Hey, Saru. Your name isn't there. I didn't see an essay. I made a mistake. If that's the case, I made a mistake. Let me look into that. Let me make a note on that. I'll look into that. If I'm after leaving you out, I'll repay you for there. It absolutely wasn't intentional, Saru. So that was a mistake on my behalf. Mohammedi. Okay, good. We haven't even started and you like it, so I must be doing something right. Ian, Beans, Do you know who is Beans? I have no idea what you're talking about. Hi, Sarah. Okay, good. Sherwin. Kevin McAllister, great name. Kevin's back. Hey, looky. Is that Tilu? Hello, welcome to the lesson. And this is happening thrice, really? Okay, well, if it's happened 3 times, because there must be some issue. Perhaps what I've seen happen a few times with students, not for the competition, but where they'll write a comment and YouTube blocks it, but you're using Facebook, so it's not that. I'll come back. I'll talk to you about this. If you could tell me where did you post it, so I have, like, was it a Facebook group, Facebook page, or even better again, if you could get where you posted your answer and share a link. If you could share a link to your answer, because there's definitely something going wrong. I went through it carefully. I wrote down all the participants, so I'm not sure why that's happening. So, but if you could just let me know where it was, and I'll look into that. Now we have an IELTS lesson. Exactly. So we're going to go through this essay. Okay. So just to begin with, what I'm interested in is how many words was this? Okay. It is 290, so that's a good length. We're looking for to aim for about 280. So 290 is perfect. It's long enough to develop your answer in enough detail to get a high task achievement score, and it's not so long that you're losing out on too much time. If it's too long, you won't have enough time to proofread. That'll mean you have more vocab and grammar mistakes in your answer. So that would be an issue. So 290 is perfect. Okay, so the first sentence I want is this sentence paraphrased. In many countries, there is an increase in the number of serious crimes committed by young people. Most, no. Most and many is not the same thing. Most means like the majority of countries, whereas many means a lot. It doesn't have the same meaning. So let's change this to a lot of countries. Okay. A lot of countries have been witnessing a surge in the number of serious crimes by teenagers, by young people. The teenagers are a group of young people, but it's not the only group. So no, that doesn't work. Sorry. It's a mistake with my settings. Okay. So teenagers, that's not suitable. So crimes by. Again, don't worry about changing every single word. If you don't have an appropriate synonym for young people, just copy that synonym. That's the best thing to do. Okay, so here's our question. What do you think are the causes of this situation? So causes, that's plural. So we're going to have to include more than one cause. And what measures could be taken to solve this problem? So again, measures is plural. So for that reason, we're going to have 4 main ideas in our answer. And what I'm expecting to read next is the outline statement where Ranjit includes those 4 main ideas. So the lack of proper parental guidance and the influence of crime movies are the major causes. Very good. So what we have here is 2 main ideas. They're relevant and they're specific. And those are the 2 things that we need for a main idea. They need to be relevant, so as in they need to be about what the question asked, and they need to be specific in that they're not alluding to an idea, they're giving an exact idea. So that's perfect so far. We have our 2 causes. While increasing the attention to adolescence and proper censoring of crime movies are the possible solutions. This one, proper censoring of crime movies, this one is appropriate. But this first one, increasing the attention to adolescence, that's too vague at the moment. So the problem here is I'm not clear on what that means. Like, is it that parents give more attention? How do we get parents to give more attention? Is it that we have training for parents? Is there some kind of a law that requires It's not clear. So it is relevant, but it's not specific, and that's the problem at the moment. Okay, but so far this is very well written and a good job of main ideas, except for this one that we've just discussed. Okay, so let me just pop in here and see if anyone has any questions or anything at the moment. Jugar, tell me lifetime. We're live right now. This is live right now, Jugar. Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. What should we do for improve our writing? So the first thing you want to do, so it depends where you are in the process, but the first thing you need to do is learn how to write an IELTS essay. And I've shared these with you here. You may have completed those guides already. And after that, what you want to do is you want to practice, and then you want to find out what mistakes you're making. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm showing Ranjit what mistakes they're making, and then they can be more careful to avoid those mistakes. Or it might be they have an issue with grammar and they'll need to work on grammar to improve that. So it's not that everybody has to do the same thing. It depends specifically on what mistakes you're making, what areas of weakness you have, and working on those. Excellent. Thank you. It's lovely to hear. Hi, Chugraji. Good to see you here. 6.5 to 7, how to improve writing. And again, so the answer would be the same to Mohammedi's question. So it's about learning what to do, trying it, finding out what mistakes you're making, and then fixing those mistakes. So that's essentially what needs to happen. Okay, so let's jump into the essay here again. And okay, so we have 4 main ideas, and the structure here will be 1 body paragraph for the causes, 1 body paragraph for the measures. So we'll have to have the 2 main ideas in each one. So I'm looking for lack of proper parental guidance and the influence of crime movies. So that's what I'm expecting to see in this paragraph here. One of the main causes of serious crimes by young adults, serious crimes, so you'll have to have being committed by young adults. And again, it said young people, and young people is more vague a term. So it could be young adults, it could be teenagers, it could be, it would probably refer to a larger group of people. So I'm just going to stick with young people just to make sure it's accurate. That they're not given proper guidance by their parents would be more accurate. We need the pronoun there. This is because many parents have been swamped. Okay, so first of all, it's have been is the wrong tense because you're kind of referring to something that happened from there till now, but you're more talking about the current situation. So this is because many parents are swamped with busy work schedules, especially families where both parents are in working conditions. No, just where both parents are working is clearer. Now, one issue here is the word swamped, and the word swamped is informal. That would be great to use in the speaking test, but not for academic writing. So not for the academic or general training, sorry, not for task 2 writing. So task 2 is supposed to be an academic piece of writing, so swamped. Any informal language isn't appropriate. So this is because parents are, let's just change this, too busy with their work schedules. Grammatically, you use swamp correctly. The meaning of the word was perfect. It was just the tone. Okay, so many reports have been published citing the major share of crimes being done by teenagers. Consequently, this phenomenon is leading to a society where adolescents are seen as representation as a representation age group for crimes. So this has nothing to do with the question. This has nothing to do with your main idea. So this was supposed to be about young people not getting guidance from parents. But what you've discussed here is teenagers being the ones who are committing the most crime. Nothing to do with parents, nothing to do with the main idea. It's not helping to develop your main idea about parents. So this whole thing here is in fact irrelevant. This does not help to improve your score. Okay, so then another cause. So I'm expecting to read about that second main idea, which was the influence of crime movies. Okay, so let's see what this is. Another cause is that movies in particular related to crime are related to crime. No, so in particular, the ones related to crime are having a significant influence on them. Now, let's just see who's the last person you talked about here. Movies, age group, adolescence, society. So that them doesn't clearly relate to any group of people. So we're going to have to say on these young people. So you need to repeat that to make it clear. Many movies showcase violent crimes which attract many young people to increase their revenues. Again, it's the pronoun, another pronoun mistake here. Who is they? Who is it? The young people? Is it the movies? Violent crimes which attract many young people to increase their revenues. Okay, so you meant to put it here. Showcase many violent crimes to increase their revenues. So it's about the movies, so you need to put that next to what you're talking about, which attracts many young people. Okay. As a result, many young people are becoming convicts of crimes, are becoming convicts. So a convict is someone who goes to prison, become, let's say, I'll just change it. Let's say willing to commit crime. Now, I'm a bit surprised because the level and accuracy, the range and the accuracy of vocab and grammar up here was so good that I was expecting fewer mistakes moving forward. But it does seem as though you're taking more risks. Just seeing what you're capable of, it seems like you're taking more risks with the vocab and grammar than you should. So a lot of times where students or candidates will attempt to get a higher score by using words they're not capable of using, they'll make more mistakes, and this is what will happen. So that's, from what I'm looking at, that's what I guess is happening, that you're taking unnecessary risks. That's what it seems like. Okay, so we have another few comments here. Viji, hello to you. Hi there. You're very welcome. Youngsters, the meaning is accurate, but youngsters is quite informal as well, so it wouldn't be suitable for task 2. Parents are occupied with work schedules. Yeah, I use the pronoun as well. They're occupied with their work schedules. Okay, so let's get back into this essay. Just in relation to the content, this main idea does have development. It explains why the kids aren't getting enough attention from the parents. And it would have been better if that was linked into how that lack of attention is what is causing crime. So there is some development, but it doesn't directly connect the lack of. It says why the parents aren't there. It doesn't say why that is causing these people to commit crimes. And then this main idea is repeated. So we have the main idea, but this is an explanation of why people making movies do this. But the link between the kids watching it and the kids committing crimes is what I needed you to explain. So Ranjit, that's what you needed to explain. So you needed to say, because these movies make crimes look attractive, or they show how profitable crime can be, young people are drawn to that. So it's not so there's a big jump between, okay, the people making the movies do this, and now suddenly the young people are committing crimes. But you haven't explained why the young people are committing crimes. You've just said that it happens. So that explanation is crucial. So it doesn't matter why the people making the movies are doing that. That's not relevant to our answer, not relevant to the question. And you need to explain how this happens. So just saying it happens, that's not enough. You have to say, connect the two ideas. So they're watching the movies. The movies glorify criminal activities and make it look enticing for the young people, and therefore they want to replicate what they see. So you need to say why it's happening, and you haven't really done that in either of these ideas. So you've talked about them, you haven't talked about how they result in young people committing crimes. So for that reason, you're going to be stuck at a band 6 for task achievement, because you need to develop all of your ideas to get a band 7, and you haven't really developed any of them. You've discussed them, but you haven't developed them. Okay, so then we're looking at the next paragraph, and we're talking about increasing the attention to adolescence. So hopefully you'll explain that, in more detail. At the moment, this is vague, but as long as you explain it in a way that it becomes specific and obvious what you're talking about, you'll get a band 6. However, if this is still vague after I read the next paragraph, that's a band 5 for task achievement. Okay, so let's have a look here. Turning to possible solutions, perhaps parents may spend quality time with their teenage children to address their concerns. Teenagers can share their problems in spite of the difference in age with their parents. So how is this going to happen? No, so this doesn't really work. This doesn't work. So we've said that their parents are too busy at work. So if they're too busy at work, then how are they going to spend more quality time? So is it that they should quit their jobs? Is it that, government should enforce companies to only allow staff to work 8 hours a day? So like, are these parents working 12 hours a day? So should the government intervene and say nobody is allowed to work more than 8 hours a day? So how is this going to happen? That's not clear. So just saying they should do it, yeah, I think that's the outcome. We want this outcome, but how are we going to achieve this outcome? So that there isn't clear. Perhaps parents may spend. So again, don't hedge your language. Just say what you think, and like, I know, like, you're trying to hedge your language in case the reader doesn't agree with you, but you should sound confident in your solutions. And I, as the reader, can still disagree with you if I like, but you sounding like you're not confident with your solutions doesn't really suit what we're looking for in an academic essay. So just say parents should spend quality time with their teenage children, address their concerns. Say so that the teenagers can share their problems in spite of the difference in age with their parents. Doing this often can reduce the crime rates to some level. Why will that reduce the crime rate? So again, it's the same problem as here. You've kind of talked about something and then you said suddenly the outcome will happen. You have to connect those ideas. So how is spending more time with the parents going to result in lower crime rates? What's happening? What's happening to cause that? So this is coming down to when you're planning your essay. You're not planning your essay carefully enough so that you're not checking if your explanations are actually explaining your main ideas. So you've done a relatively good job at coming up with 3 main ideas, but because it's an essay that requires 4, your task achievement score is going to be a band 5. And then to develop those ideas, you can't just talk about them in general. You have to specifically say, how is this going to happen? How is spending more time? How are we going to get parents to spend more time with their children? Or if you want to say that spending more time with the children will result in lower crime, well, how is that going to happen? What's going on? Is it that the parents will teach them, will guide them, will teach them morals, will teach them how to behave, will know when they're doing something wrong and will punish them, will see what they're doing, and by being observed, the children will know that the parents are looking at them, so they're not going to commit crime in front of their parents. It's only something that they would do when their parents aren't looking. So you have to explain. Obviously, not all of those ideas, but those are just examples of things you could say to explain it. But the explanation is essential if you're going to get a higher score. The major So let's just continue here. The major solution for dealing with the influence of crime movies is that stringent laws can be implemented for viewership of these movies, which can reduce the negative consequences. So again, you're jumping to the outcome. We need an explanation. So you have the idea, but how is that going to reduce the negative consequences? So you're jumping from main idea to outcome. You're not going from main idea to explanation. So what you're missing is explaining how it will happen. So again, it will be implement these laws, which will stop these young people from watching those movies so they cannot be influenced by them. So stating how it's going to happen. So it's the explanation that's missing. It is therefore necessary to think on these lines of reducing crime rates. So this doesn't say anything. This is just basically repeating, and you're basically saying, and what I said is correct. This isn't helping you to improve your answer, so there's no need to write this sentence. Okay, let me jump back in. Let's see if anyone has any more comments at the moment. Good morning to you. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so all we're left with is the conclusion. So let's have a look at this. So in the conclusion, what I'm looking for is the 4 main ideas again. So in conclusion, negligence on guidance of teenagers by parents and heinous crime movies are the reasons. You have to put the context. The reasons for young people committing more crimes than crimes compared to the past. You have to have the context. Without that, somebody should be able to read the conclusion and know what the whole essay was about. So the context is important. While paying attention to them and imposing strong laws are the feasible solutions to solve the issues of crime by young people. Okay. Okay, so you did put the context, but at the end, so it wasn't clear why you were saying this first thing. So I'll even just remove that. Are the feasible solutions. Okay. So there's so many good things in this essay that the score is likely disappointing. But 3 main ideas instead of 4, that's task achievement band 5. So you're very close, but that vague idea, that's not good enough. Coherence and cohesion, There were a few things, pronouns in particular were an issue, and at times where the vocabulary wasn't accurate, so it made it a bit confusing. I think a lot of that was taking risks and not being confident enough to repeat the words, to repeat words. So, for example, like saying youth instead of young people, saying teenagers instead of young people, taking basically being afraid to repeat the same word too often. So you feel like you've used it, you've used the phrase young people too much. The phrase young people was in the question statement, so you shouldn't use it too much. But if the option is use something that has the correct meaning or use something that might not have the correct meaning, you should go with repeating whatever word you need to repeat. Um, I think the main issue with coherence and cohesion was the incorrect placement of information. So not putting the information where it needs to be so that the reader can follow it. So this one here, and there was also one other example. I can't recall exactly where it was now. Ah, yes, to increase their revenues, that one. So that was put in a place where it didn't make sense. And then misusing pronouns. Use of cohesive devices is fine. In general, organization of paragraphs is fine. So it's not going to take a lot of work to improve that, but coherence and cohesion score is a band 6 for this one. Vocab is also a band 6, but I can just tell from your writing that you're absolutely capable of a higher score, but it's the risks that you're taking. So using the incorrect words, most teenagers, young adults, swamped being the incorrect tone. So I've corrected them all already, but those are the main things. So you're getting a vocab band 6, but I don't think you actually need to. I don't think you need to increase your overall vocabulary ability right now. I think you need to be more careful when you're writing. I think because I can see the level of accuracy and the range between those mistakes is of a band 7 level. So it's those mistakes that are dragging your score down. So it does seem as though you have the ability for a band 7, but you're not going to get it for the way you've written this essay. For grammar, let me just see you've got a nice enough range of grammar to get a band 7, but I'm not sure if you do have the level of accuracy. So you need about half your sentences without mistakes. So you got 1, 2 without mistakes here. So that one had a mistake. That one had a mistake. That one had a mistake. That one I didn't correct because it didn't make sense. Sorry, it didn't belong. There are more mistakes here. Too many grammar mistakes. And let me just see which grammar mistakes you need to focus on. So absolutely pronouns, that's definitely one. That's more of that's a phrase, so that I wouldn't worry about that. Punctuation, articles. Passive structures. Tense. So there isn't anything really consistent. There is no one mistake that you're making over and over again. So it's just about the density of mistakes. So most likely it's your proofreading that you need to be more careful with, because it's not that you're making the same mistake over and over again. You're just making too many. And like I said, there's a big variety, like tense, subject verb agreement, some punctuation, some article. We had a plural mistake. So based on that, I would imagine you are capable of getting a higher score by proofreading more carefully, because it's not the same mistake. It doesn't seem to be one. Normally what it would be is, a student is making mistake every time with subject-verb agreement, that they're making the same mistake throughout the essay, but there's no real evidence of that from you. So that is an overall score of band 5.5 for this task 1 essay. Okay. No other questions here at the moment. If anyone has any questions, please just type them into the comments. I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have. Also, let me share with you my live feedback lessons. So I have live feedback lessons on Zoom every week. So therefore, speaking task 1 and task 2, group lessons on Zoom. So you can click that link, sign up for those if you haven't already. The lesson later today is for general training task 1. The lesson tomorrow is for task 2, and I already had the speaking one yesterday. Also, if you would like to have an essay correction like this for yourself, I have a one-on-one service, which you will also find with that link there. So click on the link for either of those. And one more thing, what am I forgetting? Yes. So every Wednesday I do a live stream like this. So next week will be based on a different question. So let me just share the question for next week. Due to advances in technology, an increasing number of people are working from home instead of going to their company's premises. Do you think working from home brings more benefits or more problems? So what you can do is write your answer to that and post it in the comments of the recording of this. So once I stop the live stream, the recording will be uploaded. So you can put it in there. I'll also make a post on Sunday with the same question as a reminder. You can post your answer there as well. Maha, you're clearly explaining the mistakes which candidates should not do in the exam. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. No problem whatsoever, Maha. So like I said, another competition for next Wednesday. So make sure to get your answers in if you would like me to have your name there. And Soru, I don't know if you're still here live, but Soru said that she posted an answer and I didn't put her name in. So it happened. So Soru said that happened to her 3 times, that she posted an answer and I didn't include her name in the lucky draw. So there's obviously something gone wrong there. Soru, can you get back to me with where it was, where you posted your answer? I saw your name down for the speaking test, the practice speaking test lucky draw. So unless perhaps you might be getting confused with that. If not, please get back to me and let me know, so I can figure out what I'm doing wrong, make sure I don't repeat that mistake. Okay, so that's it for this lesson, this live stream. If you're in the live feedback, if you've already signed up for my live feedback lessons and you're doing general training, I'll see you in the lesson later today. That's in another, I think it's another about, I can't remember actually. It's later today. It's at, I think, 4 my time, so another 4 hours and 20 minutes from now. Also have a live stream for task 2 tomorrow, so I'll see you on YouTube or Facebook if you're not coming to the live feedback lesson later today. Hit that. You're very welcome. Okay, so we're all done for now. Talk to you later or tomorrow. Bye-bye.